Operation Helping Hand Tampa is a local organization that's been quietly doing amazing things for veterans and their families in Tampa Bay and beyond for the past 17 years. They saw the need to help wounded veterans and their families who visit them while getting treatment. They offer innovative therapies and hold a very special dinner once a month to salute these men and women and remind them that they are not alone and not forgotten. Meet our friends from Operation Helping Hand Tampa next on Bayside. Good morning and welcome to Bayside. I am your host, Shelly Sanders. We are talking all about the good people over at Operation Helping Hand Tampa and how they are helping veterans and their families here in the Tampa Bay area and, like I said before, and beyond. Now, we can't do that without speaking to a new friend of the show, the chairman himself, Mr. Jim Griffin. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys.
Absolutely. And first and foremost, on behalf of everyone here at the station and those watching, I salute you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much. And we consider we're still serving.
Yes, yes, you are, as a matter of fact. It is a treat to have you here, for sure. So I want to make sure that everyone realizes that you are a veteran. You served many years in the Army, and we appreciate that. So let's talk about Operation Helping Hand Tampa. Wow, 17 years in the making. Let's talk about its beginnings, right? How it came to be, and why did someone see the need for this, and how that came to be.
Okay. It's very elementary how it happened. Dr. Scott, head of rehab services at James A. Haley VA, was leaving his office one afternoon, and he's head of the Spinal Cord Institute, which have the seriously injured veterans in there for weeks, months, and longer. And as he was exiting, he saw a young lady and her child in the car, and he spoke to them and continued on. Next morning, he came back to work. The little lady and her son or daughter were still sitting in the car. And he tapped on the window and said, "Have you been here all night?" And she said, "Yes." And he said, "Do you have a patient in the hospital?" She said, "Yes, we do." And they drove out there from the Midwest and really didn't have any funds to afford a motel room. And she said, "But this is fine. We can go in and see him every day." So Dr. Scott called then president of the Military Office Association, our founder, the late Captain Bob Sila, and asked, "Can you guys do anything to help us?" And that's the birth of Operation Helping Hand. Wow. And we started out with potluck dinners, members of the family bring it into the VA, and that morphed into, the week before COVID hit, we had 350 at the Heroes Cafe in the James A. Haley.
Love it.
And that knocked us out for a year, and we've resumed it at the Embassy Suites. Have been over backwards, Embassy Suites USF. Can I give that plug?
Yes.
I guess I did.
Absolutely.
And they have been over backwards to help us, and we're now, the last dinner was 120 folks. Wow. And so we're there to honor the active duty wounded and veteran wounded and injured and their families.
I love that COVID didn't get you down and that you're still plugging
right
along.
No, we're plugging. We're plugging.
Because unfortunately, there's still the need for your assistance and for these families that visit their loved ones that, wouldn't be able to stay anywhere outside of their car if it weren't for services like you.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So here we are. Now you're serving meals again, and it seems a common thread, as with most families, is the dinner table, right?
Sure.
Food. So through food, you're able to have these fundraisers that I know you do a lot of those, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. Okay. Some of these fundraisers are all surrounded about food, right?
Sure.
So when we're talking about veterans, what kind of, is it only local veterans that you're serving, or who is it that we're talking about?
We've really simplified our mission because our whole thing is based on the wounded and injured that are in the James A. Haley Hospital. We try to keep our focus right there, make it simple.
Right.
And the veterans that especially receive services through the spinal cord and polytrauma in the VA hospital. And we have focused on that, and that is our goal. And we can help them sufficiently with all the different therapy programs they have available, to include flying in families for Christmas and the holidays whenever they can accept things. We have a really good system to do that, so you don't have to put $500 or $600 on a credit card. We also support, since we don't get in that many wounded and injured now, we support the therapy programs, which are just the state of the art. They have therapy programs, the art and music therapy programs, which they are really, really effective with PSTD. They have virtual reality programs they pioneered some of the virtual reality programs. And now they've opened up a new motion therapy where it gets you going and doing all the kind of fancy stuff. And we support all those. But probably the most important thing we sponsor, and Dr. Scott will vie for this, is the Polytrauma Family Support Group. And what this does is take the old families who have been down this road, and it's a really terrible road, with new families coming in that are just starting. And so they know how to help them over the bumps and get them acclimated. Been there, done that. And he said that's the most important thing we do. And we fund that. The guy, well, what's interesting, the guy that is the primary instructor he has no arms and legs.
Oh, wow.
And he, you can't say, well, you don't understand. Well, he does understand. And he is fantastic. And we support that. We've been supporting that for years and years.
I would imagine that it's very therapeutic on both sides of that coin as well. Those that have been there and they've been through it, they kind of know the ropes.
Yeah.
But to be able to assist others as well is very rewarding. And at the same time, this new family that's coming through and having to learn the ropes, getting the assistance there as well.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, it's a beautiful story on both sides of that
Well,
coin.
whenever you say veterans, people are picturing guys my age.
Right.
But, we were talking guys in their 20s,
Yes.
and maybe they've been married a year or so, and all of a sudden their wife not only is the major provider, but a major caregiver for life for somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's a big change.
And I'm
Big
glad you
change.
brought that up, Jim. So just to clarify, any service member that has served time, it doesn't matter whether it's a month or whether it's a lifetime, at any point, you are considered a veteran for sure.
Sure, yes.
100%. So I'm glad you brought that up
Yeah.
and pointed that out. All right, so we have so much more to talk about with Mr. Jim Griffin, the chairman of Operation Helping Hand Tampa. You're looking at the website right there, operationhelpinghandtampa.com. There are a lot of ways that you can help out and just have a great time doing it. We're going to tell you all about it. You can start there by going to that website. We'll be back after this, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Bayside. I'm your host, Shelley Sanders. I've been speaking with Mr. Jim Griffin. He is the chairman of Operation Helping Hand Tampa, and they are doing incredible things for our veterans here in the Tampa Bay area and then some, and their families that visit them while they're getting this treatment. So, Jim, I could talk to you for hours on this topic. Veterans have a very special place in my heart. Not just veterans, service members, I should say, whether they're active, retired, whatever the case may be. Anyone who enlists in our services I hold in very high regard. So I could, like I said, I could talk to you forever about this. When we're talking about doing these things, it can't be done for free. I mean, honestly. So there has to be, the money has to come from somewhere. How do you do that? I mean, an obvious thought would be from financial donations, which I'm sure you'd not say no to, right?
No. A matter of fact, what we're very proud of and separates us from a lot of charities, all the money's donated 96.5% go to the families and the patients.
Right here.
Yeah, right here, right at the James A. Haley. That's our focus. And the reason we do that is because we're all volunteers. And we do this not because we think it's neat, because we think it's the minimum we can do.
Absolutely.
What we do. And we're very fortunate to have, for our dinners, which are about $4,000, that does not come out of our treasury.
Right.
We
Well, that's what I want to get into.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that, because we haven't really brought that up yet. I kind of like to save those topics to now. Let's talk about these dinners. So you've got every third Thursday of every single month.
I
So
think we're
give
up
us
to,
the lowdown on it, Jim.
Okay, I think we're up to 208 monthly dinners. We had a big consecutive streak going before COVID, but we have dinners, and each dinner is sponsored by, we have corporate sponsorship, Arma Global, Booz Allen Hamilton, CAE, all of these folks. Not only do they sponsor the dinner, but they bring the folks with them to serve the dinners. You know, you pay $4,000 and then we make you serve the dinner, so you can't beat that. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, fantastic support. And what's really great, when they bring all their motorcycle cops there to serve the dinners, when they park them out in front of the Embassy Suites, it looks like a big drug bust going on. So that was great. Kindred Hospital, Pilot Bank, Unison Senior Living, where I'm a resident, matter of fact, at Unison. USAA, Custom Mobility. We have been blessed over the last 17 years with tremendous sponsors. And $4,000 is a hefty thing for a sponsor, and then make you serve it. But, and they don't seek that for advertising. They seek that.
And I will bet, too, you don't have to make them serve it either.
No, no. And matter of fact, interesting you brought that up. The CAE that did our January dinner, we used to take as many as they wanted to bring when we were at the VA and the Heroes Cafe when we had 350. And since we're limited now, we limited them to 15. Well, they had over 150 sign up to come serve the dinners. So, I mean, it is just the environment, the people in Tampa have just, all the industry have really supported us.
So who can come to these dinners?
The dinners are for anybody that wants to come to honor and be there with the veterans and know what we're doing. We're honoring the veterans and their families. If they make a reservation on our reservation hotline, which I think is on the screen, you make a reservation and tell us how many, and you will get a call back verifying your reservation. And we have to do that because right now we're limited, but we're going to become unlimited, I think, because we had over 120 at the January dinner.
I love
and
that.
Our next step is 150, I guess you'd say, a dining room at Embassy Suites that we'll go to.
Now, is it always held at the Embassy Suites
Yes.
dining room?
Yes.
Okay,
Always,
for now.
Always there for now. I don't think we're ever going to get back in the VA.
Right.
It's still, anytime these things come up, all these different viruses and, all these different, the last one that came up, I think it was Omicron or something like that.
Omicron, right.
Yeah, Omicron, yeah. And we had them scheduled to come, and that came up, and it knocked us out.
Sure.
And so we're not worried about that. We can Zoom, and then whenever we get them, it's a short ride over to the Embassy Suites.
Exactly.
And we can bus them over there.
So for you at home, this Operation Helping Wounded Warrior and Veterans special dinners, they happen every single month on the third Thursday. And you heard Mr. Griffin say that it is at the Embassy Suites over there at USF campus, Embassy Suites, right? And the phone number is up on your screen now, and we'll keep it up there, or at least be putting it back up there from time to time. Be sure to make your reservations, because you heard Jim say that, hey, this thing, they fill up every single month. It is like standing room only. They want, everybody wants to come to these dinners. Yeah. And what a beautiful cause. The support that you're getting, and from these businesses that you have given
Tampa's great.
Kudos to, and
Tampa's great.
Keep showing up for that. I love that. So perhaps you own a business out there and you've got somewhere that you're looking for somewhere to put your money and or volunteers or both. Wow, what a beautiful,
We're a
beautiful
501c3
organization.
nonprofit, so
yes.
You can count this as a donation.
I love that. And again, that's the third Thursday of every single month. Now, for the individuals that call and make that reservation, is there a charge for them?
No.
Wow, and it's even free. What a beautiful thing. All right, so that number is 813-771-6744. You're looking at it right there. And you're also looking at the website. That's going to give you all the information that Mr. Griffin and I have been speaking about today on Operation Helping Hand Tampa. That website address is operationhelpinghandtampa.com. Why don't you go check it out while we go to break? We'll be back. Welcome back to Bayside. I am your host, Shelley Sanders. I've been talking with Jim Griffin, the chairman of Operation Helping Hand Tampa. They are doing incredible things here in the Tampa Bay area for our veterans and their families who are visiting them while they are getting treatment here in town. And without this assistance, obviously you're doing something right. It's been going on for 17 years. You're helping more and more people on the regular. And so without that assistance, these families, I love the origin of this story, how Dr. Scott came across the family sleeping in their car to visit the loved one that's getting treatment at James A. Haley Hospital. And those guys over there, I salute them as well, doing incredible things for our wounded soldiers. So we were talking about these monthly dinners that happen every third Thursday, just amazing that the amount of support you're getting from the community in both attendance and as well as the support from these businesses that are coming out and saying, listen, here's $4,000 and we're coming also, it's not just here's our treasures, but we're offering our time and talents as well, and we're willing to volunteer our people and help serve it. So we're paying for it and we're serving the community that's coming to these dinners every single month. And without that, you wouldn't be able to help these families that are visiting loved ones over at James A. Haley Hospital.
True.
Now, in addition to that, you have a few fundraisers that happen throughout the year, correct?
Yes, we are blessed to have a pit raiser, a pit master that's, actually he's an insurance guy, Bob Ahern, who is our resident pit master. And he cooks some of the best ribs and barbecue, everything. And we usually have it right around the 4th of July. We try to schedule it on the hardest day it's going to rain, which just happens. And then we have one on close to Veterans Day out at West Chase. And we have a bunch of really strong supporters that just come in there and cook and work all night, and they party all night before the barbecue. And we have a group at West Chase, I think they're called let me get this right, the Free Booters. They're one of the crews that they participate in the Gasparilla Parade.
Sure.
But I have called them freeloaders and free looters, but no, they're the free booters, and they have been fantastic in supporting us.
Love that. You also have a Star Spangled Art exhibit that happens in September. You have an annual golf tournament that happens in March. You've got several things going on in the Bay Area. All these things are on the website, correct?
Yes, they are.
So for you at
Yes,
home,
they are.
if there's ever a time where you're thinking, you know what, I want to get out and do something, wonder what's going on, this is another way to help out Operation Helping Hand Tampa. You know, let's talk about these veterans and the families. What's the reactions that you get when you see these people firsthand, knowing that they're getting the assistance from Operation
Well,
Helping
we
Hand?
get, and there's some on the website, some of the testimonials from the veterans, but we let them know instantly when they get here. We provide them a welcome kit. And the welcome kit is probably right around $1,500 worth of coupons from like Target and things like that.
Right.
So when they get here, if they have nothing, if they came from a hospital, they can go down to Target and get, jammies and stuff like that, gas coupons. We used to give the cell phone cards, but they don't need that anymore. That's good.
So the
But
reactions from the
Oh, yeah.
veterans and their families has been what? What's the
been
feedback?
overwhelming.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They realize as soon as they get here, hey, there's somebody that's got our back.
Someone actually cares.
And somebody really notices that this is happening, that there are real problems involved, and we feel good about that.
As you should.
That's our pay.
As you should. And for you at home, there's a way that you too can feel good about that. and you can volunteer or offer your financial assistance, either or how about this, both. And you could do that by logging onto the website you're looking at right there, operationhelpinghandtampa.com. operationhelpinghandtampa.com. That's the website. It's going to give you all the information that we've been talking about, information on their fundraisers, and by all means, call the number at the bottom of the screen and make your reservation for next month's third Thursday dinner, because it will sell out. It always does, or sell out. It will get taken, every seat in the house. So log on now. All right, we'll be back after this. Thank you for joining us this week on Bayside. And of course, Jim Griffin, thank you so much for being here, and keep doing what you're doing over there at Operation Helping Hand Tampa. For you at home, get out and get involved in your community. This is a great way to do it. OperationHelpingHandTampa.com. That's where you're going to start.